in our previous episode, we discussed something concerning multimeters. We talked a lot about multimeters. So you know how to measure continuity, you know how to measure diodes, you will know how to measure capacitors, and what have you. Welcome back to our YouTube channel. This is Dr. Phil, Dr. Diagnosis, your phone technician and your teacher, ready to take you through this course. Components of a mobile phone. These are the internal components, the most basic internal components of a mobile device, of a mobile phone. We are having diodes, caps, resistors, inductors. Inductors are also referred to as coils. Sometimes you'll find words such as boost coils and the rest. We have filters, integrated circuits. Most people call it or call them IC. Just an IC is an integrated circuit. We have transistors and some other more components. But for today, we are going to tackle what we call diodes. Here we are going to look at diodes. I just want us to be able to identify a diode and be able to know how to measure a diode, so that you can know whether a diode is functioning correctly or it is dead or it is spoiled.
This is IQ Service Center, home of fast fixes, today and future tech masters.
Up here, you can see that we're having something here. This one is what we call a diode. This is just a normal diode. We have different kinds of them, but this one is the most common one that you will find on a mobile device. Let me draw it here. It here. And mark you, we are having a longer line on this side and a shorter one here. Then observe this one. We are having stripes here. 1, 2. You can have 2, 3, 4. You can even have 1 sometimes. And this one has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 stripes. Okay, this side that you are seeing the stripes, this is the negative side of the diode. The negative side of the diode is known as negative. Negative side is known as the cathode. Whereas the positive side of the diode, positive, is referred to as anode. Please understand and take these topics slowly by slowly. I want you to consume bit by bit so that you can be able to grasp a lot of things, other than having a lot of talkings and a lot of discussions in one session. Let us just tackle them one by one. So today we're just going to focus and concentrate on diodes and make you understand what is a diode, how it functions, and how to measure one. And how do you deduce that a diode is faulty? I've said on the negative side of the diode, you're going to find these stripes. This one is the negative. The positive side of the diode is going to be blank like that one. This one is the positive side. Now, I want to show you how to measure such a diode. This one is a diode. This one here is a diode, and I have just drawn a representation of it down here, as you have seen on this board. So we have the negative side, this side. The negative side, I have said, is referred to as the cathode, and the positive side is referred to as the anode. Mark you, in some instances, you will find the cathode labeled as K, and the anode, most times you'll find it labeled as A. These ones are just abbreviations and representations of the said words, the anode and the cathode.
Kwa majina naitwa Linus John, natokea TZ. Nilikuja hapa Januari kuja kujifunza kutengeneza simu. Na nilikuja hapa kuna ambacho nilikuwa najua kwenye simu, kwa sisi kutengeneza simu wala kufungua, lakini sasa hii najua. Naweza kuenda mambo mengi, na kama naweza ku replace screen, replace beta, naweza replace charging system, naweza fan short.
Grab your multimeter and let us roller cast through the measuring of these diodes. This one is a common multimeter, as you can see, and we have the red probe, we have the black probe. We have done this one in our previous episodes. If you have not watched the previous episodes, please refer. We have the black probe on the common side, the red probe on the measuring side, this other side, the farthest end, that is indicated ohms, voltage, amperes, and continuity mode. We want to measure the diode. If you want to measure a diode, the best way to measure a diode is by removing it from a circuit. If you remove this diode from this circuit and measure it outside at circuit independently, because as you can see here, this line is directly linked to this one, which is directly linked to this capacitor, which is directly linked to this other capacitor. So for instance, if this capacitor is faulty, it is going to make this diode give you a wrong reading. Easy. I want you to understand something. These ones are all arranged in one circuit, and this side, you can see this one is joined to this one, is linked to this one, to this one, and to this one. So if this single capacitor is faulty, if you measure this diode here, it is going to give you a wrong value. So the best way to measure this kind of diode, which I've drawn it here, it is simply by taking your multimeter, like this one, the negative probe, like this one, this is the negative black probe, you are going to place it on the negative side, and the positive probe, you're going to place it on the positive side. You understand? The negative probe on the negative side and the positive probe on the positive side. Then observe the reading on diode mode. On diode mode, you will have turned your knob to continuity mode, or on diode mode. Like for instance, this place, you can see this is the continuity mode or the diode mode. You will turn your knob to the continuity mode, to the continuity mode, so that you can measure a diode. You see here, the negative side on the negative probe on the negative side, the positive probe on the positive side. Mark these drawings. Observe them. This is the negative side, the black probe. The positive side is blank. There is no markings on the positive end. Sometimes you will find that it is only one strip. Sometimes there are two, sometimes there are three, sometimes there are many. Sometimes it's just one block. So be observant and don't say I was not shown a diode having 2 or 3 more strips. I was just shown one. So do not mind if it has 2 or 3. This one is just to indicate the polarity of the diode. Let us continue. The negative side being on the negative probe being on the negative side, and the positive probe being on the positive side, it is going to give you some values on the screen. It is going to give you some values on the screen. What are those values? Those are the movement of electrons. It is showing that there is movement of electrons. The main function of a diode, let us close it there. The main function of a diode, let us begin by defining its main function. The main function of a diode, it allows current to flow in one direction. I will repeat by defining it like that one and demonstrating it once again. So if this is the cathode side and this is the anode side, you put your negative probe here. I will not explain it too deeply, but I just want you to understand the negative cathode, the negative side of the probe here, the positive one here on the positive side of the diode, and observe the reading. It is going to give you some value. That one will be okay if it gives you value on one side. Remember, a diode only allows current to flow in one direction. If it gives you values on from the negative, the positive side, if they are aligned correctly, if it gives you value, that is okay. If you reverse the probes, remember, now here comes the difference. If you reverse the probes and the positive probe is on the negative side of the diode and the negative probe is on the positive side of the diode, and it gives you a value, that diode is faulty or it is dead. It is faulty or it is broken. It is faulty. Let us just say it is faulty. Let me repeat it once again. I'm going to repeat it to make it clear. We are having a diode here. your positive probe on the positive side, on the anode side, your negative probe on the cathode side. You will see a value on the screen. Then you reverse the probes. These are the probes. These are the probes. If you reverse the probe, this is what I mean, the positive side on the cathode and the negative side on the opposite side. If you find any value here other than 1 or OL, that diode is faulty. The diode is supposed to give you reading on one side because it allows current to flow only in one direction. This is the most basic definition of a diode. It allows current to flow in one direction. So do practice, find diodes and measure them. We have different kinds of diodes. There are so many, but that one is the most basic one that I've just shown. We have so many kinds of diodes. I wish this one I could have magnified it, but it is slow. So let us try again, and I show you a diode. So we are having a diode here. Let me pinpoint it. We're having a diode here. I hope you can see clearly. This is a diode. This is a diode. And we have plenty of them. This is another diode. This one here. Hope you can see it clearly. So we have plenty of them. Remember the strips on the negative side. No strips, the positive side. This side is longer. If you put your negative probe here and the positive probe here, you're going to see some value. If you reverse the probes and see values on a diode outside the circuit, that means the diode is faulty. Discard it or replace it. Okay? Now, I want you to understand another thing concerning this diode. I've just explained myself here that if a diode is linked to another component and the component is faulty, you're going to get a wrong reading on the diode. So the best way for you to measure a diode is by removing it from the circuit and measuring it outside a circuit. The best way for you to measure a diode is by removing it from the circuit and measuring it away from the circuit, outside the circuit. That is just for today. This is the topic for diodes. The simplest explanation of a diode is it allows current flow only in one direction. It allows current only flow in one direction. From the negative side, having the negative probe here, the positive side, the red probe there, you'll see some values on the multimeter. If you see value even after reversing the probe, that diode is wrong. If you see value after reversing the probes like this one, that diode is wrong. You are only supposed to see value while placing the positive side on the anode and the negative side on the cathode. That is it for today. Please remember to like, share, and subscribe and follow this channel. My name is Philip, Dr. Diagnostics. Welcome.
This is IQ Service Center, home of fast fixes, today and future tech masters.